Hello and welcome. This is lecture number 15 and we will discuss on semaphores versus monitors. How both terms are differ to each other. Right? So let's start with the discussion. Semaphores and monitors. The first point about the semaphore is it can be used anywhere in a program, but should not be used in a monitor. Where monitor, it is based on the conditions variable. So condition variables can let me do this comparison in that way, that would be better for you guys. Right, the first point for the semaphore, and the first point for monitor, that means it is based on condition variable, can only be used in monitors. First for semaphores and second for first for monitor. Okay, second point for semaphore, there is wait function. Wait function does not always block the caller. That means that is when the semaphore counter is greater than 0. So that is functioning of wait function is, if the semaphore counter is greater than 0, then wait function will block the caller, otherwise no. So that has to be keep in your mind, guys. Wait function does not always block the caller, that is, it will only block when the semaphore counter is greater than 0. Okay, second point for monitor, and that was for semaphore. Monitor, here is again a wait function. So wait function always blocks the caller. मॉनिटर के अंदर वेट फंक्शन हमेशा कॉलर को ब्लॉक करेगा. इट डजंट मैटर व्हाट इज द वैल्यू ऑफ मॉनिटर और कंडीशन वेरिएबल. थर्ड पॉइंट फॉर मॉनिटर्स, थर्ड पॉइंट फॉर semaphore is there is again a signal function. Signal function either releases a blocked thread, as we know that signal function is used to give the wake up call for release the blocked process so that it can get a chance to execute. So whenever there is a blocked queue, and blocked queue maintains so many processes which are waiting for the CPU for execution, so signal function is one kind of wake up call for release for blocked process, so that the process released and put into the running queue. Right. So in semaphore signal function either releases a blocked thread if there is one, or increases the semaphore counter, where monitor, here again is a function known as signal, either releases a blocked thread if there is one, or the signal is lost as if it never happens. Fourth point for semaphore is if signal function releases a blocked thread, the caller and the released thread both continue. But in monitor, if signal function releases a blocked thread, the caller yield the monitor or continue and that would be based on some conditions, like only one of the caller or the released thread can continue but not both, right? So that is important for the signal function in both case. Semaphore, if signal function releases a block thread, the caller and the release thread both continue, right? But in monitor, if signal releases a block thread, the caller yields the monitor or continue. Only one of the caller or the release thread can continue but not both. So there is differences. Right. Now the next concept, it is again a very important concept, which is known as message passing. So what is message passing and how it is required, why it is required, and how it works? there is three basic questions. So let's start with the message passing. Message passing is a mechanism which facilitates synchronization among the processes without using shared memory segment. That means मैसेज पासिंग एक ऐसी मैकेनिज़म्स है जो आपको फैसिलिटेट करती है सिंक्रोनाइजेशन करने के लिए जब आप कई सारी प्रोसेसेस एक साथ एग्जीक्यूट करना चाहते हो और सभी प्रोसेसेस किसी शेयर्ड मेमोरी सेगमेंट पे वर्क नहीं करती हो। जैसे कि मैंने आपको सीमाफोर्स के केस में बताया था कि यदि कोई प्रोसेसेस जब कंकरेंसी होती है, दैट मीन्स कई सारी प्रोसेसेस एक साथ किसी शेयर्ड मेमोरी एक्सेस को यूज़ करती है, शेयर्ड मेमोरी को एक्सेस करती है। इस केस में हमें सिंक्रोनाइजेशन करना ज़रूरी होता है। सिंक्रोनाइजेशन करने के हमारे पास दो तरीके थे, या तो हम सीमाफोर को इम्प्लीमेंट करें या हम मॉनिटर को इम्प्लीमेंट करें, राइट। हम ये काम मैसेज पासिंग के थ्रू भी कर सकते हैं, बट मैसेज पासिंग का कॉन्सेप्ट ये है कि यदि हम किसी शेयर्ड मेमोरी एक्सेस को यूज़ करना चाहते हैं तो बिना शेयर्ड मेमोरी को यूज़ किए भी हम मैसेज पासिंग को यूज़ करके सिंक्रोनाइजेशन इस्टेब्लिश कर सकते हैं, राइट। जैसे आप गूगल यूज़ करते हो, गूगल जब भी आप सर्फिंग करते हो कोई भी इंटरनेट लिंक्स, तो कई सारे ब्लू लिंक्स आपके सामने आती है, कई सारी हाइपर लिंक्स आपके सामने आती है। आप जब हाइपर लिंक पर क्लिक करते हो आपकी रिक्वेस्ट जाती है सर्वर पे, वो एज अ रिस्पॉन्स आपके सामने कुछ हाइपर लिंक्स अगेन सर्व करता है, फिर आप उसमें क्लिक करते हो, देन दैट प्रोसेस विल बी कंटिन्यू, कीप्स गोइंग ऑन, राइट। सो मैसेज पासिंग एक क्लाइंट सर्वर आर्किटेक्चर का एक ऐसी टेक्निक्स है जो किसी क्लाइंट मशीन से रिक्वेस्ट सर्वर के पास लेके जाती है और सर्वर उसकी रिक्वेस्ट को रिस्पॉन्ड करता है उसी टर्मिनल पे जिस टर्मिनल से रिक्वेस्ट आई है। तो एक डिस्ट्रीब्यूटेड मैनर में यदि आप सोचना स्टार्ट करें तब यहाँ पे मैसेज पासिंग का कॉन्सेप्ट क्लियर हो जाएगा, राइट। तो मेनली मैसेज पासिंग जो टेक्निक है वो आपको फैसिलिटेट करती है सिंक्रोनाइजेशन करने के लिए कई सारी प्रोसेस के बीच में। और पॉइंट ये है इम्पॉर्टेंट यहाँ पे कि आप किसी भी शेयर्ड मेमोरी सेगमेंट को यहाँ पे यूज़ नहीं कर रहे हो। नॉर्मली आप प्रोसेसिंग करना चाहते हो बट यू एग्जिस्ट इन अ डिस्ट्रीब्यूटेड मैनर, दैट इज़ द इम्पॉर्टेंट पॉइंट ओवर हियर। नेटवर्क में आप बिलोंग कर रहे हो, आपका पीसी एक नेटवर्क से कनेक्टेड पीसी है और आप एक नेटवर्क से कनेक्टेड यूज़र है, राइट। और उस डिस्ट्रीब्यूटेड मैनर में या उस डिस्ट्रीब्यूटेड नेटवर्क्स में आप कंप्यूटर टू कंप्यूटर कम्युनिकेट करना चाहते हैं। ये कॉन्सेप्ट है मैसेज पासिंग का, और ये काम करने के लिए आपको दो फंक्शन मिलते हैं। इस दो फंक्शन के बेस पर आप मैसेज पासिंग प्रॉपरली करते हो। सो लेट्स हैव अ राइट व्हाट इज़ मैसेज पासिंग। मैसेज पासिंग इज़ अ mechanism which facilitates synchronization among the processes without using shared memory segment. It also facilitates the communication between processes on the distributed network. So this is message passing. Now how we achieve the message passing, right? So in order to achieve the message passing, there is two major function which works behind the message passing technique. These mechanisms mainly comprises of two operations. First is send function, which takes two arguments. First is destination name and second type is message. What kind of message we are interested to send and what is our destination machine, right? So target machine and the message that will bind together in a send request and send it to the destination machine. So let's have a write about the send, how it works. This is primarily used for sending message to its destination. Two processes communicate through messages which are sent by the help of send function. There is again an important function which is known as receive function. It again take two arguments. First argument is source name and second is message, right? So as you use mobile system, mobile device, Android mobile device, you can send a message, you can also receive a message at the same time. So while receiving the message, you receive two things: what is the source, who is the source, and what kind of message you received, right? So let's have a write about the receive function. This function is used by the process to receive message from the process or the source of the message, right? And the point which you have to keep in mind, guys, that message passing is very essential in distributed network system. If two processes want to communicate, then they must send and receive messages from each other by establish a communication link. First, there should be a established link, maybe that is logically linked or virtual link, or maybe a dedicated link. It doesn't matter what kind of links are established over here, but there should be a link before starting the communication. So if two processes want to communicate, then they must send and receive messages from each other by establishing a communication link, right? Now a typical message format in a message passing techniques, there is one typical message formatting, typical message format. So it contains so many things. Let's I will write here. First is source, second is destination, third is message length, fourth is control information, fifth is message type, and sixth is message content. Here message content is one kind of body, we can say body, and the rest of things is known as header. These all five items components makes a header of our message. So message must contain the source address, message must contain the destination address, message length, how many characters we can put into the message, control information, and message type, right? Normal text message or multimedia message or broadcast message, right? So we can have so many type of messages. We should mention what kind of messages we interested to send to the destination machine. So includingly we can say this is the typical message format, right?